A big Hong Kong Direct for you this week, packed full of news as the licensing committee met this week to decide who's in and who's out as far as the riding ranks are concerned. And the big news, of course, is that Joao Moreira has decided to call time on his career here in Hong Kong and will now set his sights on Japan. More comings and goings as far as the jockeys are concerned. And some new names to join the riding ranks for the coming season. A very warm welcome to Hong Kong Direct. I'm Andrew Jeune. Good to have your company for today's show. So Joe coming up very shortly. We'll hear from him. We'll also hear from Tommy Berry a little bit later on as well. But the new jockeys joining us for the new season. Well, Callan Murray, he was here last year, of course, and did very well. Grant van Niekerk will be a new name as far as the Hong Kong roster is concerned, but familiar, of course, if you follow international and Hong Kong racing. He's been a winner on the simulcast. Oh, Susanna won the Met this year. He had 4 winners on the day, Grant van Niekerk, in actual fact, and also recently won the Woolhavington at Greyville. And Alexi Bedell will be back from the 1st of November. Of course, Alexi has done very well here in the past. For all details on the committee decisions, head to the website, of course, there, hkjc.com. Now, the big one, of course, though, is Joao Moreira. Came a bit of a shock to many this week. I caught up with Joe to get his perspective on the move. Joe, you might have stunned a few in the racing world this week. After originally applying for a licence for next season in Hong Kong, you've withdrawn that application to pursue a career in Japan. And whilst it's no secret you've loved Japanese racing, the timing, I think, might surprise a few. This is obviously something that's been on your mind for a while, though.
It has been in my mind for quite some time. It has been a long conversation with my family. If I want to go for my dreams, which is clear that I want to go and ride in Japan, I'm not going to be able to be committed to the Hong Kong Jockey Club. So it's a decision made. It was definitely a very hard call. I didn't mean to impress anyone else, to shock anybody, but it seems like it's quite reflective, and I'm just trying to be very honest and straightforward and say what is on my mind. It is a dream that I have had for quite some time, and now I feel like it's time to go for it.
I know you love speaking to John Size. He's been a big supporter of yours over the years. You've been a lethal combination as well. When you spoke to him, were you looking for approval, or were you looking for his advice as to what you should do next?
I wasn't looking for his approval, because if I was going to be looking for such a kind of approval, I would be asking the Hong Kong Jockey Club. Size has been a very good friend of mine, as I have indicated in the past, that he's been not just friendly, but he's been kind to me, and he is a gentleman. So when I had a conversation with him and he kind of encouraged me on what I really have in my heart as a dream, I should go for it, because if I don't, later on I will regret. So I did have a conversation with him. He kind of encouraged me, and obviously I have to express my words of thankful for what he has done to me here. He hasn't just been my boss as a trainer, but he has been a really good friend, and I really appreciate that.
Why Japan in particular? Why not somewhere like Australia or Europe or even the US?
I think that there would be more opportunity for me in Japan than anywhere else, to be very honest. Even if I'm aware that it's going to be very hard to get there, but I'm feeling capable to make it happen, and I've been there a couple of times and I love it there. I think Japan races is top class. They've got a lot of good horses. People over there are very polite and straightforward, and I would love to be among them. I'm sure it's going to be a new experience, and I'm very excited to find out what is there for me. I obviously think what is there for me is good, so I'm looking forward to that.
As far as Hong Kong has been concerned, I'm sure you're going to miss the weather if nothing else. In a very short space of time, you've broken all kinds of records. You've been associated with some of the greats. Abel Friends, as a champion, world champion, Rapper Dragon, clean sweep of the 4-year-old season. You've even been part of the Pakistan story as well. What are some of the memories that you're going to take with you?
Well, that is plenty, and you just pointed 3 of them, and those ones I would have as my highlight. When I won that race with Abel Friend in 2014, the Hong Kong International Mile, that was such a special. It was my first international race here in Asia.
All 1,300 pounds of him, and away he goes. Abel Friend from last has put pay to them quickly. Gold Fund resiliently battling on for second, but Abel Friend bolts up for Joao Moreira.
The horse, what he turned up to be, in Hong Kong and also in my life is just so special. So I have to mention him. A couple of years later, I end up finding a horse which calls Rapid Dragon, and also another very good horse, which has made history here on winning the Triple Crown for the first time.
Rapid Dragon, Pakistan Star's eating up the ground. Rapid Dragon in front from Pakistan Star. The puzzle now complete. Rapid Dragon takes the derby from Pakistan Star.
I do want to say thank you to Joao Moreira, who has given me a lot of opportunities as well. The owners of these two horses that you mentioned about, and not just those owners, but also behind the scenes, that there's a lot of other people, in particular owners, that has been supporting me all the way through all these nearly 5 seasons that I've been around, and I do appreciate all what they have done to me. And I will definitely miss this place. And what I can say is, I'll be coming back. I can't say I'm coming back for good, to be based here again, because that's not my goal now, but I will certainly be coming back for a short-term license and maybe even coming for the international. And what I'm gonna carry the most of here is I was lucky enough to make a lot of good friends, and those people I will try to keep them around me for as long as I can.
So an amazing few years for Joao Moreira, but not, as Joe says, necessarily the end. He might be back for a short-term stint in the future. As far as the stats are concerned, well, incredible, really. He's one short of 700 winners. He won't get it this weekend, of course, sits this one out, but he's not too far away from that. Overall, first 3 strike rate of 50%, but win strike rate, incredibly in his career here in Hong Kong, is at 23%. We saw some of the big wins there, of course, Able Friend winning the mile back in 2014, but the record, 3 times champion jockey, will it be 4? 170 wins in a season and 8 wins in one day. And of course, some of these big wins, the QE2 Cup from last year, Neo Illisman, the Dubai Turf as well, both for Japanese horses, Japanese trained horses there. So with that Japanese flavour already intact for Joe, he's looking to build on that association. But what of the championship and his main rival? These were Zach Burton's thoughts.
Sort of, I knew it was coming. Joe and I, we've had plenty of discussions about it in the jockeys room for a while now, and he's always wanted to go and ride in Japan. I did think he'd probably do one more season, but I think the way things have gone towards the back end of this season, he sort of just felt like the time was right for him to move on. So I wish him well. I'm actually a little bit sad that he's going. You know, I've enjoyed the competition, and yeah, it's going to be different without him there.
How will it change things?
It'll give everyone else the belief that they've got a chance to fight for the championship. So I'm going to have a lot of competition next season, and you know, I enjoy that, and you know, I think competition is good. Definitely, it's going to be competitive like it is every year.
Of course, Zach is still 1 behind Joe in the title race this year. He's got 10 rides on the weekend as well. Now, while Moreira withdrew his application for next season, as far as licence was concerned, Tommy Berry didn't actually reapply for just 1 season here in Hong Kong. He had been back to familiar pastures of New South Wales. Main reason being his young family have struggled to settle here in Hong Kong, but he certainly might be back in the short and maybe the long-term future as well, as of course that success in the Champions and Chato Cup on Pakistan Star for Tony Cruz. He'd love to be back again next season.
Tony was one of the first people to know I was going home, due to the fact he's obviously got Pakistan Star, and I'd love to keep that association going, and obviously in the past they've flown over Sylvester de Sousa to ride him, so I know it's happened in the past, but look, that's under no guarantee that I will be back on him next season. Tony said he'll speak to the connections, and we'll go from there, but he's got quite a break now till he does run again next season, so there's no rush for them to make a decision, and I'm not going to lie in bed thinking about it every night. So I'd love to stick with him. He's an incredible horse, and he'll be competitive in whatever he goes in next season, and I was blessed to get the mount on him in the Champions and Chater, and look, hopefully the connections keep me on him.
Well, there you go. So plenty to look forward to for Tommy, and maybe we'll be back as well for the Hong Kong Cup on International Day in December. Now, for full details, once more, of all the comings and goings, head to the website hkjc.com on the licensing decisions for next season. As far as this weekend is concerned, we've got an 11-race programme. The feature races, the Happy Valley Clubhouse Handicap, that's at 2 o'clock, and the Members' Cup as well. Start off with the Griffins. We also see an interesting first runner by Deep Impact, certainly trained here in Hong Kong, Stimulation, and Tommy Berry will be on that horse as well. So race 4 and 8 set for the features. hkjc.com for the website and at hkjc_racing for the Twitter followers as well. So as we head into the weekend action, Zach sits on 115 to Joe's 116, but Joe again is on the sideline. So there'll be plenty to look forward to, and it'll be live, available to you direct from Hong Kong at 12 o'clock on Sunday.